Interesting. Greetings, everyone. This is an interesting situation here. Imagine having somebody come to your house and build you a bed, your personal bed. Oh well, America or Europe or Caribbean, other places of the world, you go to the store. Even in China, unless you live in the countryside. But anyway, going for a little walk. Early in the morning, beautiful sky, clouds above the mountains and beyond. Traffic. Wow. A little bit heavy. But it's 9 a.m. in the morning. So, well, beautiful view of the mountains. You can even see the small areas in the mountain where there are no trees, where the land has moved. But from here, you look there and you say just mountain. When I drive there, I'm surprised to see how many homes are there. But it's an education for me. People adapt to their surroundings. In most places in the world, that is a given. Wow, this is an old Land Cruiser. Wow, long ago. Now they are bigger and more luxurious. To buy one of these now, it will cost almost the same amount as the new one. And one of the things that Toyota did was it was like almost like they already took an action similar to what American manufacturer would do. You make a car, you change it from what the customer is buying. You add the luxury and make it so that it sells to more people. You know, and then when it doesn't sell, you discontinue it. Even Toyota now is thinking like American car manufacturers, falling to the quality of American car manufacturers. I said falling now. And now somebody else is moving into their market and taking over. Not only is somebody else moving in, but a different vehicle is moving in. And that happened earlier when America rose to prominence in world leadership. We are living to a time when the world is changing. Not only the world is changing, but the leadership is changing and the technology is changing. All three legs of human growth or change is changing. All three legs of that stool that the human being sits on. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. This is normal on the planet. The technology is changing. The atmosphere around us is changing. And the leadership of the world is changing. All three at the same time. That we are one of the few generations that see that happen in the last 7,000 years. When I say we are one of the few generations that see it happen, we have seen it twice. My generation, anybody who was born just after World War II, after what they call those, we are the children of people who saw World War II. And even some of the people who saw World War II, they are seeing the changes going on. And it has become, it's an interesting process. And lots of people didn't see it coming. And the funny thing is that people who ran all the alphabet agencies around the world, who knew it had to happen, but felt that they could obstruct it. So what they did was create a system of credit in America. What they thought was a different economic system. And that has spread throughout the world. So what they effectively did was bring the world into that one leg, where the economic system is so integrated that if one part of it fails, you know, if it gets a crack somewhere in that one leg, the whole leg shatters. Mile marker 45 in the long walk, Balanga, Philippines. World War II, Japanese versus America. Anyway, but that's why the Japanese entered the war. Because, not because of Germany, but because of America. Anyway, that's not the subject today. So the economics field, they integrated the world in the education. And so when the economic and the education system falter because the education system is not doing what it's supposed to be. How many of you know geography? How many of you know geometry? How many of you were taught what was like hygiene, the human body? You get sex education today, you know, wear a condom, but nothing about how the human body works. That used to be taught, how the human body works. Geography. Not only the geography, you study the map, the capitals of the planet, the countries, the people. I knew every state in America, every county in England, most of the countries in Europe, I knew about China, the history of the Chinese people, not the nuances, the unique nuances, but the general about the war on China, how America and Europe destroyed China, why they did it. All of that I learned in school. Today is not taught. The education, sorry about that, the education system failed. And it's failing in the system that governs the world. And guess what is happening in the part of the world that they were governing? That education system is being strengthened. The technology, I want to mention something about technology that most people don't know. Everybody is saying that the technology was invented in America and Europe and so forth. Yes, it was. Most of what they invented, they kept it stored 10, 15 years, releasing it very slowly to make as much money as possible, and keeping it out of the hands of the people who they knew were going to rise up and take their place. They knew about the pollution of the earth. Not only about the pollution of the earth, they knew what they were doing to help destroy the atmosphere. And it's not only the CO2 from cars that did it. What does atomic bombs being detonated in the atmosphere do? That heat in the atmosphere, heat changes chemicals. You repeat it to you. Heat changes chemicals. Not only the heat, but the radiation. And not only the radiation, atomic bombs generate waves of sound that turn into heat in the atmosphere. All of these things are not accidental. Now they're saying that people, the average man on the street is what's causing this. No, it's not. They had the opportunity to clean the air before releasing it. The air that they polluted, you can take that pollution out of the air before releasing it. You can clean the water that's polluted before releasing it back into the ocean or rivers. But instead of making $1 profit, they want to make $100. Instead of making $50, they want to make $1,000. And then when you can't make $1,000, you pick up your factory and take it to a country that the workers are being paid 50 cents a day. So you can make 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And pretend that you are not the person who is creating havoc, destruction, and ignorance. You knew this was about to happen. And then you said to your people, you see all the places where they now, look at all of those people over there burning coal. We're burning coal. But look at them, they're generating the pollution. Anyway, so two of your the stools, two of your stools legs damaged and becoming irreparable. You knew it was going to be damaged and didn't repair it. Didn't make them stronger. Instead of making them stronger, you make them weaker. All you gotta do is look at American and European automobiles. People were singing the praises of Mercedes-Benz. And unless you knew a mechanic who can tell you what happens when you buy a Mercedes-Benz, you will continue to buy a Mercedes-Benz. Today, Mercedes is putting equipment on their cars that you have to pay to operate. You see how they are destroying and then looking at other people and say, pointing the finger at other people and say, see what they are doing to the planet? We're the good guys. The Germans started a war in Europe. And then they were getting free power now. Almost free source of energy. They gave up that free source of energy, moved all their factories to China, and then says the Chinese are, how would I put it, taking advantage of us. And now here comes the human. The other day, an epidemic of just it's not a normal everyday virus, but they made a few changes to it. And then set it loose on the planet to kill off a specific demographic. Guess what happened? That demographic was hardly affected. When the healthcare and the food system get infected with this thing, your human body, when I say healthcare, and you better believe the whole earth is now infected with this virus. Not just the people, the earth and whatever grows on it is infected with this virus. But since nobody told you that, except one man in Africa, and supposedly Africans are the most stupid people on the planet, that you've been told. But when this virus broke out, his people looked at this and says, he came out one day and says, hey, my people told me that this is in the fruits and vegetables we are eating and drinking, the water we are drinking, the animals we are eating. Everywhere this thing is in our land. completely died of a heart attack. The stool is shaking because all three legs have been damaged. Now the man who built a stool and took into consideration how long he's going to use it, what he's going to use it for, and when and how long he wanted to last. Sorry, I used that already. How long he wanted it to last, and the purpose he wanted to use it for, and the cost. He wanted to make sure that everybody who gets his stool was able to get a good stool. No cutting corners. Just a good stool. Laughed at the stool. Everybody laughed at the stool when he was building it and after he started selling. But the stool that I bought broke. And the stool that we bought broke. And the stool that he made still works. Now you want to make him stop selling his stool. No, I want to make him stop selling his stool. Because I'm upset with myself. Anyway, we're in a changing economic environment. It's going to get tough. The stool is just shaking. So just imagine what happens when one leg falls off. When I say the stool is just shaking, there are millions of people who working today can't afford health care, can't afford to eat. The ingredients in the food that they ate a year ago now cost 3 times as much as what it cost a year ago. And they are not making the same amount of money. Their rent has tripled. The price it costs to fill up their car, if they can afford a car, is tripled. The economic leg is broken. It's cracked, irreparable. The planet, it will repair itself. You better believe the planet will repair itself after man has been destroyed. And the planet is working on getting rid of most of us right now. That virus that was put in the earth is going to get integrated in everything everything that on the earth, and it's not going to kill that. But man, guess what it's doing to man? We don't hear about what's happened to man now. But when that virus picks up a virus that's in the earth naturally and fill the gap, the space where it's missing an element right now, guess what's going to happen? Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Peace.